There's a sparkle in your eyes. I feel the warmth of your skin. Just the touch of your hand makes me do love. It's a smile on your face. It's a smile on your face. And as time goes by, I know I'm in a better place. I'm in a better place.
Welcome to Put It All on Red. I'm Roberta, the Tool Lady. I have an awesome show for you tonight. It is Minority Mental Health Month, so I think it's only right that we celebrate Black men, right? And that we celebrate them and give them a space that they can vocalize themselves and talk about themselves in a good way, because usually we don't. But tonight we want, and I brought two guys that I'm pretty fond of. Uh, my nephew, my internet nephew, MJ Walker, and then my great friend, Mr. Archie Jenkins. And I'm going. So I'm gonna go ahead and let them tell you a little bit about themselves. We'll start with either one. You guys can make up your mind which one. I'm gonna let you go ahead and tell our audience about you.
I'll let Mr. 180 go first.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. 180. Y'all already know I had to do it so you can know it's really me, you know? My name is Archie J. Jenkins Sr. I'm the founder of 180life.com, 180 Life Enterprise Magazine. We've been in rotation for 3 years. International, 4,500 magazines go out a month in a dying, I call it a dying field. But I am in Texas. I am grateful to be here. The celebrity photographer, you've probably seen me on your TV screens taking those wonderful pics, posting them on every celebrity that you know. I'm grateful to be here. I do speak to young African American males and tell them it's not how you start, but it's how you finish. And you got to do that 180 in your life, you know?
I love that. Thank you. All right. MJ?
Well, what's your boy MJ Skywalker? The Unhinged Mastermind. Catch me every Lord Jesus Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on my podcast. We like to kick it and have fun, man. We like to come, show out, laugh, wild out, and we treat everybody like family, man. Even Mr. Berta come up there and hang out with us from time to time. And we just like to spread a real message through the hard, honest truth. And sometimes, man, you know, our truth ain't for your comfort. So if you want a real good time, come hang out with us.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Let's go ahead and start, because as she said, there's a lot of people that want to talk. They want to talk about this topic. They just don't have a safe place to talk about it, or anybody that would talk to them, right? About being a Black man. So to start with, I wanted just to ask the question, when did you decide? So it's only ironic that your company is called 180 as well. So the first question that I wanted you all to address is, when did you decide the old you, to give up the old you to become the new you?
So I'm gonna go ahead and take control of that one real quick.
Okay.
So for me, a lot of people that don't know me, and some that do, I did 6 years in prison, and after prison, you would think that would have changed me, but it didn't. And I ended up going back to prison again. And you would have thought that would have changed me, but it didn't. I ended up getting in trouble again, but it was that time, that third time, when for me, I got arrested for something I didn't do and didn't tell on nobody, but I've always had a relationship with Jesus, with God, you know, and I was like, okay, Lord, not if you get me out, I'm going to change my life. But I said, Lord, if you give me this chance, I'm gonna show everybody that told me I would be a screw up, that I would be nothing, that there's something good gonna come out of it. I was always the class clown. I was always getting kicked out of school. So odds was stacked against me. But it was one day when I really started thinking, I love math. And I used to hear everybody say, man, I did a 360. I did a 360. And the last time that I had got into some trouble, which is going on a little minute now, but last time I got into some trouble, my hair started falling out. I had dreads. I was doing good. And the young man walked up to me and was like, hey, school. And I stopped, and he was like, can you pass me whatever he was asking me for? And it told me, like, no, I can't let this be my life. I can't let this, like, they think that I'm older than what I really was, but I was so stressed out. And I told myself I got to do a 180. And this is going to be the hardest change that I had to make in my whole life, because I had to walk away from people, places, and things, family. I had to walk away from friends. I was that guy. I've always been that guy through the dopest parties. I had the money, the girls, the cars. I had it all together. I just would always get in trouble because I would choose fast money over slow money. But it was that moment when I was like, okay, and all the charges had got dropped, and it was crazy because I gave my paperwork to a friend. I was like, I didn't tell on nobody. It just the power of God that really came and like changed the whole situation. And I told myself, I'm all I got, so I have to make something shake. And I remember when I met my wife, all I got is a dream, a hope and a dream. But I got 50 Cent. And if you can ride with me with this 50 Cent and these two dreams, I promise I'll turn it into something. And no lie. They actually, they already into the questions. I liked it. Now, y'all know, y'all talk to me. I'll talk back. She said, what's your upbringing? So I'm not going to even lie to you. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. And I hope that MJ, I got it. MJ, I hope MJ going to do the same. I grew up in a 2-parent household. Like, no lie. I'm the pastor's son. My grandfather is the bishop. I know. I grew up with some of these people y'all watch on TV. I'm going to put it like that. But like I tell people, I remember when I went to prison, and they used to be like, "Ooh, if I had the money your parents had, or if I had your situation, I wouldn't be here." That's not true. I tell people this all the time. With more money come more problems. Because I also grew up with sexual abuse, and I also grew up with verbal abuse. I also grew up with low self-esteem. But I wouldn't say it's the upbringing, because I believe I had a great childhood. Every Christmas was always dope. I had a car at 15. My parents, but then there's some things that I'm not doing with my children now. But I don't want to jump the gun. I don't want to jump the gun. But they asked me a question. My bad.
You all right? You are okay. We appreciate that, because you know what? Like I said, people want to talk about this, and really, you're talking about some things that we don't talk about. Which we should talk about. That's why I said we want to have a night just to celebrate Black men. That's why I called y'all.
What I would.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. She asked another question. She says, "Would I say I was privileged?" I'm not gonna lie to you. Before I went to prison, I had a different mentality. I'm not gonna lie to you. I grew up in that type of. Before I went to prison, I had a different mentality. My parents had enough. I could do whatever I wanted because my parents had enough money. My parents worked for the government. I'm going to just put that like that because I can't say what they did and what they do because they still work there. But yeah, my parents worked for the government. So I feel like I could do whatever. And it was that one point when the judge said, no, that money ain't getting you out. There's no lawyer that can get you out. Bruh, got to sit down. And it really showed me like, okay, it don't matter how much money you got. You're going to jail. You do wrong, you're going to jail.
Right.
But I wouldn't say privileged. I would just say I was in a blessed situation. My parents are educated Black people,
I love it. All right. Thank you. MJ, how about you, nephew?
So the question was, when did I feel like I needed to make a change?
Yeah.
I realized I needed to make a change when I got out of a very long pointless relationship, and I realized that I wasted a lot of my time trying to make somebody appreciate me who always just took me for granted. And I realized that I could never understand why nothing ever good happened in my life is because that I had to take a hard look and understand that um because I wasn't with the person I was supposed to be with. And that's why the relationship was hard. And I understand when you're not walking in your purpose, then nothing in your life will be easy. And I can never understand why this relationship ain't easy. So and then I finally got with somebody and all of a sudden things just started happening right. So that's when I realized, man, I spent so many years with the wrong person and I just need to do better. And so I just woke up one day and I don't know, it just you just wake up one day and you look at somebody and it's like, you know what? I want to do better for you, but I also want to do better for myself. And so that was it, and I had to realize that a whole other question. So would you say it was your fault or it's my fault? You know what? It's my fault because again, I had so many signs and I just ignored them. I was like, no, I can get past this. I can get past this. And I take full accountability for my actions. You know what I'm saying? I could have did better. I should have did better. I just didn't want to listen to what was right in front of my face. And so
Can
I
I
take
ask you a
full
question?
accountability. What's going on? What's
Can
up?
I ask you a question? I'm sorry, Mr. Bird. I know I'm out of. So, do you feel like you had a situation as men? Do you feel like you didn't want to be alone?
I think I was more attached to I think at a certain point it
Hey.
is I couldn't stand being around her, but I didn't want anybody else to have her.
Oh,
You know,
oh,
like
okay.
because it's like I'm gonna tell you right now, like she went on a trip, like she went to Haiti to go see her grandmothers and aunts and stuff, right? And when I tell you that was the most relaxing week of my life, I was so happy. I was so happy to come home from work, like I just lay in a bed, and it was just like I realized like it'd be stupid stuff, and it's just like stuff that I realized like Saturday morning, right? Like 7:30 Saturday morning after working 48 hours that week. I was up, ready to walk the dog, ready to conquer the day. Like, and I didn't want to lay in the bed. Like, as soon as I opened my eyes, I was up. I wanted to get stuff done, right? And I thought that was just me. And then I got in this new relationship. You know what I'm saying? After a while, and next thing you know, I'm looking over, and it's like, are we really gonna lay here till 10:50? That's a damn shame. We got to do better. It's 11 o'clock before we see the crack of dawn. And I just realized because the person that I'm with now is she's just peaceful, and you don't understand how much peace you're missing till you have it.
Wow,
Yeah. You
wow.
know what? I love this. I love y'all's candidacy. I love you being honest because what you're telling me is that black men have hearts.
Oh yeah, we definitely
That's
do.
that's what you're telling me, and you're telling me that you're also vulnerable, right? Because sometimes we don't see our black men as being vulnerable or being who they as men. We only see them, like you said, kind of putting on that hardcore, like, I'm so tough, I'm this and this, but they never show a side, like he said, I wanted some peace. Or like you said, I was trying to entertain some folk, and this is just how I might have got into a little bit of trouble, right? So I like that. I like that. Saying I'm bad. I was battling with myself. So I really appreciate the honesty because it's due. It's due. Now, to the meetup tonight, which you guys almost ate it, the whole elephant at one time, but but to the meetup tonight, which tonight's topic for the audience is the triumph of being a black man, because I think we ought to renew the black man's not this identity, but your worthiness, right? Because
Mhm.
I think as black men, you don't get that a lot. You don't get, hey, you worthy. You're more than worthy. We usually, you see the media is what? It never really portrays us as being, or I say as black men as being, the top. It never does. It's always they're getting chased, they're getting put in jail, or the other part, they're dying. They got shot here, here, here. So, that is the goal tonight, is just to show that Black brother that's out there that you are worthy, and that you can do it just like these two brothers did. They came from two different walks, as Archie just shared about his background. MJ didn't share a lot about his background, but I could tell, like he said, I usually come to Unhinged and trip off of them and laugh a little bit and gives up myself. So, but I could tell he had a good heart, right? I could tell that just from the communication and just being a part of his show. So now to the meat of the show tonight, as I believe we're gonna eat this up.
Oh, that's a good question. Go ahead. Sorry, they got a question on the screen.
They throwing the good questions in.
What about counseling? What are your thoughts as Black men?
Okay.
MJ, you want to take that? Because I probably got a different view.
I'm gonna take that. Listen, it's first of all, not even just Black men, for everybody. It's very much needed. And I didn't realize how much I was letting everything in my life affect me. And you don't realize how much you are affected by your upbringing and your past until you start going to therapy. Because I started going to therapy, and when I started going to therapy, I had this white lady, right? And I know race doesn't mean nothing, but hear me out. I had this white lady, and I started talking to her, right? And she said, you know what? I know somebody that'll fit you more better. And she recommended me to this Puerto Rican dude, right? And so I started talking to the Puerto Rican therapist, and he said, because we grew up the same, I can help you more. You know what I'm saying? And so I too grew up in a 2-parent house. My parents are still together to this day. A lot of people tell you like, oh, you're so lucky. And I was like, I don't know, because 2 ass whoopings for the same thing didn't really seem that lucky to me when I was growing up. Like, I ain't finna lie to you. I ain't finna lie to you. It don't seem that lucky, but I guess, So, it didn't seem that lucky, but I guess though. But so I think the thing is because my mom got hurt like when I was like in high school, so she couldn't work. So I watched my dad do a lot of working. And so a lot of the times, especially on social media, when we talk about this whole 50-50 and all the man got to pay all the bills, I watched what my dad went through, and I was like, ain't no way in hell that I'm finna pay all the bills. Watching what he went through, ain't no way. You know what I'm saying? Having a part-time job and having to contribute to the house at like 16, 17, because, my mom got hurt and couldn't work. It's just like, and I didn't realize that until I went to therapy. You know what I'm saying? I went to therapy and I started understanding like, hey, this has shaped you forever. You know what I'm saying? And so therapy is something that's very much needed, because you'll never change the behaviors that you have if you don't understand what it is. And another thing I can't stand people who, you can't be in your 30s talking about, well, my childhood. Listen, there's a point in time where it's time to, hey man, it's time to shut up and do better. I don't accept that from people. You 31 years old and you still trying to be like, well, I got childhood trauma. Okay, you recognize that childhood trauma. You still ain't doing nothing about it. I don't want to hear it. I'm done with your excuses. Absolutely.
I like that. I'm pro with that, man. Basically, I'm real pro. No excuses. My team will tell you if anybody should have an excuse, it should be me. And if I ain't got no excuse and I'm making it happen with 12 people on staff, then it definitely, therapy for me is much needed. I believe that therapy helps with the mindset. And like you said, once you deal with the traumas and you deal with different things, okay, what are we going to do to change it? My team will tell you, we can talk about a situation one time. With me, we're not going to talk about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A year from now, we still talking about the same thing. No, we're going to talk about it one time. And then my thing is going to go into, okay, hey, how are we changing this situation? And I believe that that's what therapy is about. I've written a few books about my childhood trauma, and it's going to always, now that's might be my part I might not agree with. It's going to always be a part of you, but you can't let it be the crutch for you. You get where I'm coming from. I do understand people go through things, and you can't, people aren't going to get over things as quick as I did. Like me, I got over things. Hey, things were happening. Okay, get over it. I understand some people linger in it, but again, get you some help. Like I tell people, one thing I can't stand is You're in your 30s and oh, this is me. I've been like this since I was 12. That's the part that irritates me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, this is me.
Right.
Especially, in business, in relationships. And as a black man, I feel like us black men, what I want to see is more men therapy sessions. You go to these women seminars, you go to I'm in networking. I do marketing. So my target audience is women, and you try to do stuff for men, but men don't want to come out because we got to be so macho, you know. Just like MJ said, I watched my parents. My dad was a provider, my mom worked too, but it was like my dad provided and my mom spent hers. You know what I'm saying? Now we in 2024. Like we got to work together with this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, this is how I go. But one thing that I do feel, because I watched my dad provide for our family, it pushes me to go harder. And I'm learning as a black man that, I'm married. I got 2 kids under 2. You know, if it falls apart, they gonna blame me. It's gonna be, hey, how you let your family fall apart? And good day, no, because it should be a team thing. Okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. But at the end of the day, the way the society got it set up as black men, and this is even sidebar. If you've noticed now, black men are taking their own life. They didn't used to do that back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't a thing. Black people taking their own life. Nah, we didn't do that. We were strong, but black people are doing it because it's a lot. I'm on the road, and some days I have to call my my therapist. Hey, I need a session, an emergency session, because it's just so much I got to do. I got to make sure the business is good. I got to make sure the family is good. I got to make sure the kids are good. Make sure my wife is. It's a lot that you got to deal with, and then life happens. You know what I'm saying? Then, I just got back from Cali. My brakes went out. Like literally, somebody snapped the line on my brakes. Then the tire breaks. Then there's a water leak. Then there's a storm, and then the power goes out. Then and you just like, bro, can I catch a break? And everybody come to you, MJ, and be like, hey, I need you to fix this. I need you to fix that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, they ask some more questions. Do you all have kids? Are you raising sons or daughters? What are they teaching them regarding this topic? I do have kids. I do have 2. I got a son and a daughter. My kids are under 2. So we're still in the Google Gaga stages. But with my son, I talk to, no, I'm not gonna say Google Gaga stages. I never went through that. I do talk to my kids like they regular people. We don't do Google Gaga over here at this house, but for mental health, big shout out, Miss Z is on here. There we go. There go my peoples, y'all. For mental health, I am gonna raise my kids, and mental health is huge. Because I went through a lot, you know what I'm saying? And as back in my day in the 90s, you know what I'm saying, in the early 2000s, they said toughen up, you be all right, you know what I'm saying? And it dealt with like literally all my 20s. It wasn't until I was late 20s till I started getting stuff together, getting married. But yeah, I'm gonna give it over to MJ. MJ, you got some kids, man?
So I don't have any like biological kids, but my niece ended up having 2 kids at a very young age. So I've been a very male active parent in both of my great niece and nephew life. So I don't have any kids of my own biology, but I am helping raise a 15-year-old girl and a 13-year-old boy. And I tell you right now, it's not for the weak. I want to choke both of them every single day. I swear to God, if my nephew called me bro one more time, I'm gonna put him in a headlock. Y'all gonna see me on the news. And if my niece acts like she don't hear me because she got one of her AirPods in, I'm gonna push her out of a moving car. I swear.
So when I had my niece and nephew, bro, that was rule number 1. You're not putting on no headphones in this car. Well, we don't want to listen to your music. This is my car. Get your own car. You listen to whatever you want to listen to, but in it, because for me, it was a safety thing. Like, what if something going on? I can't even get in contact with you. I gotta text you just to talk to you. So I definitely get it, bro.
Right. It's so bad. But far as just trying to parent, I try to keep it as honest as possible. And I think I'm not sugarcoating anything. I told them this one time. One time they were both, doing a brother and sister thing. They got into a fight, and I came around the corner and they in there fighting. Right? They throwing hands, and I reached around there and I snatched her behind up, and I gave her the business, and then I reached over and I snatched him up and gave him the business. And I said, let me tell you something, ma'am. I said, until you birth some kids, you don't put your hands on nobody. Absolutely not. And I said, excuse, and you, sir, I was like, you supposed to be the man to protect your sister, not be fighting with her. So, and you need to control his emotions. So I talked to my niece about decisions. I was like, are you at a part of your life right now where the things you do can impact you for a really long time? And when I mean that, I mean about these boys. It's like, listen, you getting doggone straight A's. You on a fast track to the Air Force. You know what I'm saying? And we all know the Air Force is not always the easiest place to get into. They want the youngest and the brightest. And you talking about you can graduate early and get into the Air Force. I'm like, please stay on that path. You know what I'm saying? Because that's free education. That's free college. My nephew, he wants to be athletic. And I'm like, he wants to play sports. He plays basketball. He plays football. He's 100% dedicated to it. He wants to be at every training camp, every practice. And I don't have a time spending money on equipment, training sessions, all that. Just as long as you giving it your 100%. And so I tell him it's about making a right choice far as like your friends. Not everybody that cool. Not everybody you hang out with is not your friend. Understand that. At the end of your lifetime, you're gonna have 2 or 3 good friends. That's about it. Not everybody. Don't call everybody your friend. People are acquaintances, co-workers. Round the way person. Not everybody's your friend. Be careful of people you run because people will see you go to a camp and really be mad at you. So be careful of the company you keep. Is what I try to preach to him. And I tell him all the time, bro. Listen, honestly, I want you to stay out of trouble because when you in trouble, I got a parent. Do you understand how annoying it is that I gotta find stuff for you to do because you in trouble instead of letting you go in your room and play your video game all day? I don't care that you play your PlayStation all day when you getting good grades and you did your chores. But when you don't, now I gotta be on you. Now I got a parent, and I don't want a parent on a Saturday and Sunday. I'd rather leave you alone and you leave me alone. So,
cause adult ain't fun. Let's alone parenting.
That's crazy that you say that because I was at a conference, I want to say about a month ago, and I was telling them young guys, what you do in your teens reflects in your 20s, and what you do in your 20s reflects in your 30s. And I never could understand the whole philosophy of that till now. Basically, you can even look at it as in credit. I just purchased a home at a higher interest rate because of something that I did when I was 23. You know what I'm saying? And you trying to get that off your credit. You can do it even in life. I can't get certain jobs because, hey, I did this. And it'd be like, man, that was like 13 years ago. You going to really hold this against me? And I really can relate with that friend thing, man, because my best friend, well, he was my best friend from 9th grade. And I told this to my nephew. One thing about a person, you put them in the wrong situation, they'll turn into somebody you don't even know. And we've been riding since 9th grade, and it was when we was 24. And he got on the stand, said I did something I didn't even do because he didn't want to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't want to go to prison for stuff that he had did. And I told them the only reason I'm in this courtroom because y'all got my car. That was it. Other than that, I have nothing to do with none of this. I have no clue what's going on, but it just really like because these kids are so quick to call people their friend. Oh, this is my friend, this is my friend, this is my friend. And then when it's time, when you down and out, when I'm telling you, I did all this time and ask how many friends put some money on my books, how many friends answered their phone, how many friends came through. Everybody ain't your friend. I'm telling you that, like everybody. I'm telling you, don't do that. Hey. Why you doing that? Y'all got me throwing up stuff on the line. Hey.
Where you going? That Mo 3 hit different. Everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't your partner. That hit different.
Ain't that the truth though? It's the truth. It's real. It's real, and I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. And I'm like you. There is a lot of conferences for women. Women retreats. Women is, but men never do link up. As a fact, I've heard other men say, I'm not saying nothing to that dude. You be like, what? You know, just in passing, you just in a brotherly fashion. You don't have nothing to say to this guy. So
Mm-mm.
so let's alone take time to get into a safe position to talk about some things that, hey, because we all don't know everything, right?
Mhm.
I don't know everything. Sometimes I gotta learn from somebody, right? But we have to put ourselves in that position to learn. We need more me and brother love. That's right, brotherly love. I feel that, and I feel like it has to be brought on by me and you guys' age. To be honest, to go on to the younger age, because right now, like Mr. Jenkins said, right now suicide rate is high with our 20-year-olds and our teenagers, and so and we have and really black women have never been on there. Black men have, but it has been like a low percent, 5 to 3%. But now we're
But
up
you
at 18.
but you know where
Now
that comes from though?
uh-huh.
That comes from like a lot of black men being judgmental because
Yeah.
like these young kids, like these teenagers in their 20s, they be having a lot on their mind. Like we wasn't thinking like this at 18, 20.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm
Mm-mm.
saying? Like we
Oh,
like
Jesus.
we was going to the movies. You know what I'm saying? We was chilling, going to the house parties. Now they got, oh, will I make it to 21? You know, they got, and then it's so many things that's out here that people are doing that, back in the day, Big Daddy, my papa would tell him, no, we don't do that. And might call you a name. And you, okay, that's what papa said. Now you say something too rough, they ain't ready to end it all. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta really, yeah, robbing, stealing, killing for clout. Crazy thing is out here, somebody just killed somebody at the Sonic. They said and they did it on Facebook for Facebook stars. They said, I said, whoa. And it's just back in the day, you could fight, you know, and your parents might get involved, you know what I'm saying? And oh yeah, you didn't win, you might be fighting again in the front yard. Now and your dad, now these parents is going to go get the guns. Oh, shoot them and telling them like, bro, like what? Nah, but you gotta just now you gotta have a special group of men that can speak to these young people because you got to be able to get through to them. You get where I'm coming from because it is hard out here. Like you can't go nowhere without they shooting up Juneteenth out here, they shooting up places. It is kind of scary, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like with me, is I feel like I walk a little different because I have my kids. And with my kids, it's like, okay, I'm so cautious of what I do. I pay attention to my surroundings. I try to, you know what I'm saying? I try to make sure I stay out the way to make sure I can live another day. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So it's hard as a black man, but at the end of the day, we got to be able to go back and reach our young people, even when they don't want to be reached.
That's right. That's right. That's right. MJ, did you have
I do have a rebuttal for that. Um, I think my biggest message to what Mr. 180 said, as these young men have to start managing their emotions. Um, you have to start managing your emotions because I tell them all the time. The crazy thing about it is you think like men will look at emotions as weak, but like you think crashing out about something simple and stupid is tough where it's really emotional. Like you are emotionally overreacting. All your hardest gangsters, they're emotional. That's emotions.
yeah.
You killing somebody for because you emotional. You let a 10-second decision, you know what I'm saying, mess up the next 20, 35, 50 years of your life and you ruining the family because you emotional. And I tell them a lot of times and I don't want to, I don't want to be the person to like I don't want to bash black women, But like a lot of the times as black men, especially young black men, the biggest issue is the black women that you deal with on a consistent basis, because they're it's like the same women that walk around and say, "Oh, I can't stand black men," are the same women that are raising these men that these other women can't stand. And so it's like you have to stop getting yourself bent out of shape about a person who hates men. You know what I'm saying? You got to stop crashing out about that. And it's like you got to stop getting yourself all worked up about basically these airhead behind women. You know what I'm saying? I just, you got to stop. You know what I'm saying? These women that sit here on social media and sit around and like a man, like we seen it like, oh, I don't want to go on no cheesecake date. And it's like, bro, you got to stop getting yourself worked up about that. Brother, if cheesecake is not a good enough date for her on the first date, bro, pass by her and move along. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you dealing with somebody who don't have emotional intelligence, and then you turn around and you being emotional, it's a recipe for disaster. And you have to stop dealing with that. And another big thing that I've always told like my nephews and stuff, you know what I'm saying? As a lot of these black women are scorned because of the men that they've dealt with, and they're gonna lump you into that category. And you cannot let them lump you into that category, because you're gonna do nothing but just you're just another statistic to her. So you don't let her lump you into that category. You know, you get these women that you don't want to do what they do, they'll sit there and call you sassy. And that's another big thing far as black men's mental health. It's like, bro, we gotta stop. As black women have to start, we have to, as a community, young men, learn some self-worth. And black women, stop attacking black men. Because it's like we understand why do black men not communicate? Because the moment we open our mouth, we all of a sudden we getting sassy, we gay, we emotional, we punks. You know what I'm saying? And then you wonder why black men don't speak, and then you wonder why the suicide rate is getting higher, because black women be sitting out there driving you crazy. It's like it really do be like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's all black women, but when you deal with a certain intelligent level of black women, you look at social media right now. A man don't want to take you out on a date, a $300 date. That's gay. He's sassy. A man don't want to deal with you because you too much, and all of a sudden you calling him a faggot, and it's like that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
And I think it's bashing, right? It's the same way as a man saying, you know, if you don't want to do this, then you're a hoe. It's bashing. It's bashing either way it goes. And I do get what you're saying as far as some black women, because I can be in a store sometimes or somewhere public, and I can see black women addressing their young black children, but almost like they're military. You know, do you know what I'm saying to you? You know, don't do that, do this, this, and this, and chastising them in front of like everybody in the barbershop. Everybody. And when I tell you this and that, I'm like, oh my God, you know, you taking it overboard, and this young man got a self-worth. So you stripping him of his self-worth, and you doing it to 6, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old kid. What do you think he gonna have left by the time he get 18? You know, if you talking to this kid so harshly, handling him so rough, you know, because I've seen him do it, and I know that it's not knowing any better, and then I know that it's like you said, possibly been hurt before by, you know, black men, and not really thinking about it. You know, I was hurt like this, and you remind me of your daddy, or you remind me of my daddy, or and this not process, but I can't take that out on my child. So I kind of understand where you're coming from, because sometimes I have seen, and hey, we're keeping it real. You know, this is honest. You know, an honest conversation that needs to be had. I believe that sometimes we do go overboard, and it is something that we do have to stop. And like I said before, thinking that men don't have emotions, and that men are not.
Can I jump in there? I'm sorry. I'm waiting. I'm waiting my turn.
I see that smirk on his face. I want to hear it.
Go ahead. Come on with it.
I can agree to an extent, but from a man, I'm married to a beautiful black queen. I'm married, like my wife is black. My wife is back in the day perm black, you know, like, hey, she got a perm. The black woman, you know. I want to do this. All black women can't be in the same. Now I know what kind of black woman you talking about, and I feel like as black men, one thing I do agree with you with, these young black teens, black young men have to understand their worth. Um, One thing that me and my wife did when we were dating, one of the biggest things that made me marry her was at that time I had a lot of money. You know, I was working, I was doing great. You know what I'm saying? I was on one of my biggest tours I've ever been on. And I told her I'll take you wherever you want to go. I was in Cali. Wherever you want to go on a date, I'll take you. She told me 2 for $20 at Chili's. I was like, oh man, that's a keeper. The next day, oh no, she's a keeper because like he said on Instagram, they tripping because the guy said, hey, he want 50-50. My wife offered to pay her 10 and my 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like what's going on in this world, but it goes back into the black man gotta go to counseling. You gotta get a hold of your mental health because dealing with I don't want to say a black woman, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like anytime you in a relationship, you know what I'm saying, when you got two people that look at life totally different that come together, you know, it's gonna definitely take some turns on both ends. You get where I'm coming. It's gonna definitely take somebody got to compromise. It's gonna take some kind of compromise. Now that goes back to what I said when they say, "Oh, well, this is me. Woe me. Woe me." You get where I'm coming from. I don't feel like it's just the black woman because I know a lot of black women that aren't like that at all. You know what I'm saying? But then I do know a couple black women that are shallow and superficial and oh well he drives that. So the question is, so is the black woman, because she done put that up there 3 times. Okay. Is the black woman
you know what? And can I answer for I'm not a man, but I'll tell you this. If it wasn't for a woman, neither one of us would be here. So some of the tribe, yes, it is for a black woman, right? We did create you guys. But so we had to be the primary. I said that much. I'm gonna toot my own horn. You know, if it wasn't for us, hey, it wouldn't be none of this show, right? But so I think we do, you know, we do go. Some of us do
see
go.
That's where now. See, see how they did me, MJ. I was sitting there pro for them, and that's where I feel like it be going too far. Oh well, if it wasn't for us, y'all wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for us, you would. And it's like, bro, okay, thank you,
thank you. No, so clear it up, right? Because I like I said, I on my platform we do keep it real. Yeah. I'll never be the type of black man. I come from a black woman and who was raised by a bunch of black women. I will never be the one to be like all black women. I know they are great black. Anyways, I know they are great women and I know they are crappy women. I think the biggest thing is the women that are the shallow ones that are the problem are the ones that social media seems to push out the most. And that is the issue. And I like the city girls, the Megan Thee Stallions, the Cardi B's, the ones that are out there telling men that have to be a certain way. Those are the women that they're pushing out there. And a lot of these young girls who are misguided are following that influence.
But I don't feel, but wait, hold on. Because I don't feel like it's the young girls. It's the young parents. Because Cardi B, if you really get to know Cardi, I've been in the room with this individual. She's not what you see on TV. That girl is the quietest person in the room. She raises her own children. She teaches her. Now, yes, she does have nannies and she has a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? But she raises her own kids. But the image, like you said, the image that they're putting on TV for everybody else to see. Now, I'm saying that because it's crazy that Cardi B, Mona Scott is if you don't know who Mona Scott is, she's the lady that started Love and Hip Hop. Okay, she's the one that started the whole thing. She will tell you, my kids. She started it, but she'll tell you, my kids don't watch the show. But guess what? She feeds it into other parents and let their kids watch the show. Is that right or is that?
That's horrible. It's like, so you producing something you wouldn't let your own kids watch. And that's the crazy part. Is like that as the black community, is just like we are consistently pushing out a product for the dollars, but you're ruining the community, and that's the biggest issue. And a lot of these young black girls, like you just said, like it's how their parents are. A lot of these young black girls ain't parented. A lot of these parents are letting their kids be raised up off the internet. So you have relationships like Moneybag Yo and Kylie, where he's buying her Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and expensive watches all the time, and she's just a half naked bimbo on his arm, and they get in their mindset that this is the relationship that I want because it looks good on TV. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have to grab our young black man and black woman by the back of their necks and be like, this ain't it. You understand? This ain't it, bro. This
Okay,
ain't it.
so my question is this, MJ, because I hear what you're saying, right? And I was that parent, like yourself. I raised plenty of nieces and nephews. But what happens that at home, this is what I'm teaching. This ain't it. But the minute they get to the school, they teaching this is it. Oh, you know what? Just go get on your phone because I want you to be quiet. They're not even teaching education like they used to back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So even though we're trying to protect them from Love and Hip Hop, Cardi B's, Megan Thee Stallion, when I see 6-year-olds online that can repeat all of the Megan Thee Stallion songs or the Cardi B songs, but you don't even know what 4 times 4 is, that's the issue for me. It goes to the parenting. Where back in the day, in the black household, we wasn't, but the black household, they used to say, what goes on in this house, stay in this house. And we was very secretive. Now, I can't stand that girl at all.
Look, I can't. Hey, listen, I can't stand her music either. But my girlfriend laying in the bed, and I was over here like I say, "Ooh, baby!" I was just over here yelling at her. She just looked at me and shook her head.
I can't tell you not one song.
I can't tell the songs either. I just hear them. I hear what you're saying, and here's the thing. For me, I had the same thing. Like I grew up around a bunch of guys, and I hung out with all. I didn't hang out because I didn't hang out with the bad guys, but like when I would go to the basketball court, you know what I'm saying? You'd see the dope boys out there playing basketball and stuff. But I went to the basketball court, I went to the football games, I hung out with those guys. And even though I hung out with those guys, the biggest issue is I don't give a damn what anybody else got going on. Okay. I'm more scared of my daddy than I am any of y'all. So you can't punk me into nothing because I gotta go home and deal with my daddy. And that's somebody I ain't trying to go home and deal with. So no matter what, because I had people try to give me drugs to sell. They was like, hey, bro, can you hold this for me? Oh, man, you a punk. You won't do this, that, and the third. Hey, come skip class with me. No, and hell no, because you don't got to go home and see my daddy. And that was the biggest thing for me. I think a lot of kids aren't scared of their parents. I know it's crazy to say, you know what I'm saying? Aren't scared of their parents. I was scared of my daddy. Okay. I wanted nothing to do with that man.
I got a question for you, MJ. I got a question because me and my wife have this conversation all the time. Because I feel like I should put the fear of God into my children. I want you to be like, I'm about to call your dad. No, hold up, time out. Let's renegotiate this. Because that's how I was. They'd be like, oh, I'm gonna call your dad. Hold up, time out. Because I can see my whole life flash before my eyes.
Wait a minute. Let's not get too hasty. Hold on. Let's talk about this. Let's negotiate.
Right.
Let's talk because I don't want you ain't got to go home with this man. I do. I'm good.
I'm back tomorrow with cocoa butter on like he ain't did nothing to me. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? I don't want no smoke. You
hear me? But do you feel like so I kind of got 2 questions for you. Do you feel like women are pushing us away from parenting these children or do we need to take back our households? What do we need to do, man? What do you feel?
I'm gonna tell you the thing right here. Here's my life advice to any young man and young woman. Young men and young women out there, do me a favor. Do not have any babies until you are married. And do not get married until you're at least 30. That way you do not have to deal with women who want to, because a lot of women use kids as a punishment to men. And so what happens is you lose that grip on raising your children, right? You lose that grip as a father. So as a man, yes, as men, we need to be prevalent in our kids' lives, especially as black men. So but you also have to understand the person that you're dealing with. Because if you understand you're dealing with somebody who has traumas, who's not healed, and you go out here and you do some stupid stuff to trigger that trauma, then what you're triggering is like, I don't want you around my kids. And so what happens is you got this angry person, angry mom who don't want, who might be a good dad in these kids' life, because there's a lot of men out there that are good bad boyfriends and great fathers. And guess what? When you have a woman that's triggered and everything else, that don't matter. You could be the best dad in the world. She don't want you around them kids because now she's mad at you and she has unhealed things. So it's like, understand a person that you're dealing with. That's one thing. Understand the person that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing. Stop laying up with people because y'all vibe good. Because it never ends well. You understand? That's
I feel like these days dating is different. You know, I was talking to a friend the other day, and I'm like, "What do you know about her?" I asked my homeboy, "What do you know about her?" Oh, well, we be vibing. Okay, what does that mean? Like, you know, she got 5 fingers and 5 toes. Like, what do you like? What is it? You know, like now I got so many questions. Does she have a best friend? What does she believe on birthdays? And I think it's different for me now that I'm married. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. Everybody that knows me, even they on the live, I got married after 27 days of knowing my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't date. And we went through turmoil. We just got to the point of, hey, I actually like you. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
how old were you at that time?
I was 29.
So
okay, see, you almost 30. You hold on. I say this. The problem is you have a bunch of people that are having kids with people. You're having kids in a stage of your life where you don't even know who the hell you are yet. You don't know who you are as a person, and you out here trying to raise somebody else. You trying to,
and then there's a lot of kids raising kids.
You trying to raise a child with somebody that you don't know them. You know what I'm saying? Right. My dad always told me, when you have a person, let's say you have a 25-year-old and a 25-year-old, you are combining 50 years of life experience together and trying to make that work. And when what happens is you got people who be broke up at the baby shower, because how y'all not together at the damn baby shower? Y'all broke up at the baby shower. Make this make sense.
Looks like the baby daddy on his way, and they do.
And y'all just was together making a baby.
You just made a baby 7 months ago, but now y'all broke up. But what's your second question? I want to hear the second question.
So you kind of answered it. It's really going it. What made you marry so quick? Was it because your parents displayed this in your home? So for me, and this I feel like when you get into black men and people bring me on, I'm a little different. I wanted to be married. I was the one pushing marriage, you know, because I grew up in a 2-parent household. I wanted a family. I you know, I didn't have no outside kids and all this other stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to be married. I wanted a family. I felt bad because I'm one of the victims, like MJ said. I was vibing with her. You know what I'm saying? We was vibing, you know, and it took a year after we got married that the explosion happens. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was season number 4. And yeah, that explosion was ugly. And it got ugly and ugly. And but then
you got through it, though.
Yeah, we 5 years in now. You know what they say, she ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. Say it again.
You want to know why you 5 years in?
Why you feel that?
Because you married somebody that you realized that you needed and that you love, and you didn't marry somebody who was somebody that was convenient for you in the process. Because a lot of people are out here getting in relationships. Hear me out, because I be preaching to people. I said the problem is y'all out here getting in relationships with people because they fit you in the moment. Like, he do this and I do that, so he fit me in the moment. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, that person is beneficial to you. You looking at this man pockets, and you looking at, well, this he got a good job and she can cook and she willing to stay home. Okay, but do you like this person though? Just like Jenkins said, do you like this person? Y'all out here getting in relationships with people that you are not even compatible with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're not even compatible with this person. Y'all just click in the moment. You know what I'm saying? He like taking trips. I like taking trips. Okay, but like when y'all grocery shop, is y'all gonna argue about the shit you put in the basket? You know what I'm saying? Can
And
you
who
spend
gonna pay for it?
can you right? Can you spend time with this person doing absolutely nothing? That's the problem. Are you compatible with this person? You not you not looking at it from a standpoint of, hey, in 10 years, am I gonna like this person that's here? And that's the problem. A lot of people out here getting married because of a good vibe, and then wondering why, oh, I got a divorce because you didn't know the person that you married.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't know this person that you marrying. And for me, I think now the relationship about men, I think we're honestly getting to know each other. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you can ask me a lot of questions and I got an answer. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And it's starting to understand the person that you with. Even she displays like she knows me better than I know myself. Yesterday, she was watching me play the game yesterday, and I was finna get mad. And before I can even put my hand up to throw my headset, she had grabbed my arm and put it down. She said, "Babe, it's gonna be okay. They probably hackers anyway." Now, even though they weren't hackers and I was just playing like crap, you know what I'm saying? She knew the right thing to say, and that's because
Yeah.
she know me. You know what I'm saying? Versus
But a
somebody
lot of
who know
things,
me.
a lot of times also though, what a lot of people have to understand when it comes to relationship comes with a lot of give and take. Give and take. You gotta compromise. It comes with a lot of compromise. You get where I'm coming from, where we had to learn that, especially quick. We need a part 2 to this show. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Especially quick that we had to understand. Hey, compromise gotta come fast. You know,
I love it. Nah, the biggest thing is compromise and patience and understanding. Because if you don't have those
communication
communication,
is key. You know what I'm saying? And we had to go through that hard because my communication style, she came from, I'm thinking, oh, you got a 2-parent household, I got a 2-parent household. But then you have to go look at what was her 2-parent household doing compared to my 2-parent household.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
And
right.
you know, I'm a PK, she's a PK. And then you start
A
realizing,
preacher kid.
yeah, we two PKs. And my PK might have been is totally different from her PK. You get where I'm coming from? So then you start like, man, I thought it was this because we was going off of a vibe because we enjoyed the same music. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we enjoy some of, I'm being real, like for real, like I went through that, like because we enjoyed the same music, and, you know, we was vibing, and you asked
Yeah,
the question, oh, we doing 10 questions a day, and we was up there answering, and anybody can tell you what you want to hear. I tell my nephew that all the time. She
right,
gonna tell
right,
you what you want to hear because she want to get what she want to get. You know what I'm
right,
saying? But when it comes
right.
to relationships and marriage, and when you put kids in it, when you throw kids, it turned into a whole different situation.
Because you know what? People send their imposter to speak with you. When you first meet a person, they send an imposter. And then later on, you meet the real person.
Man, the
But
first day, y'all know them girls go on the first day be doing everything with a fork and a knife, like they got table etiquette. Then you get them to the house, they up there eating popcorn, got their all their hands dirty, and they're like, wait, what is going on? Wig off, everything, totally different person. You know what I'm saying?
but men do the same thing, right?
True.
They're sending their imposters too. You
That
know, I
that
did this.
I ain't gonna cap and act like I didn't do that. I did. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, how else we supposed to get you if we don't send no imposter first? Come
What?
on now, you knew what this was.
You would not have, she would not have married me if she would have known I was broke trying to figure this thing out. Trying to what I had looked like $1,000,000. I could look like $1,000,000 quick.
I think that's the jewel of being. That's
Yeah.
part of my.
Yeah, I don't listen. I try to come off as a person that know what I'm doing, but I really be out here winging it though.
Do
She
you
figured
really?
it. And she figured it out. No, cause she be like, babe, you fix air conditioners, you fix them so good. Whole time I be at work cussing, kicking, screaming on YouTube, trying to thug it out. But you know what though? I look like I know what I'm doing. I look good doing it, and I look like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So
Not
I'm
YouTube
really
at work. But
Auntie,
okay.
I have a whole iPad. I be sitting here.
What you say? I think that's the screw right there. That's the screw right
Hey,
there. Y'all do that one.
hey,
Well,
yeah, I do
guys,
that one.
our hour has ended. I really enjoyed it. I'm so glad, that you guys joined me. I wanted you guys to leave some tips, but I think you did some nuggets as the show went on. And then we do have a request that you come back. It would be next month, though, and if that's what you guys agree to, I would love to have you guys back. Maybe you can give us some dating tips, because people don't date anymore. A lot of women and men don't know how to date. They think it's vibing and laying up. So you can give us some tips how to date the right way. But other than that, if you can tell us how they can get in contact with you, if you have social media, if you go ahead and let our audience know.
I'll let you go first, Mr. Jenkins.
All right. If you're on Facebook, all you got to do is go to Archie J. Jenkins on Facebook. You can go to 180life.com, 180lyfe.com. Or you can on Instagram, you can go to 180life_180 show. Your boy, Mr. 180. Definitely go get your subscriptions, y'all. And I'll be in Dallas. If you're in Dallas area, please meet me at T-Ball. It's on my Facebook page. Please go to Archie J. Jenkins. We're doing Deadly Sins, the stage play. It's gonna be bananas. I'll be able to meet you in person. Just inbox me. Hey, I'm here. We're gonna meet up and have a good time. We're gonna vibe for real.
Okay. All right, MJ.
You can right there on the thing. MJ Skywalker, hit me up on Facebook, man. And if you ever want to be on the show, you watch the comments you was in the show, please hit me up. We more than happy to have you on the show. We'll even make a whole show for you. You know what I'm saying? We on every Wednesday, 8 Eastern, 7. What y'all, Central?
Mm-hmm. We're Central.
I'm about to say I'll be like 7 Texas time. we 8 Eastern, 7 Texas time. Yeah, man. Right. MJ Skywalker, just hit your boy up, man, and we get it cracking, man.
Again, thank you for joining us. We put it all on red. Kisses and love.